Hey, I want to do a quick video on that process called backward design and walk you through it and give you some examples. I know this can sometimes be hard for faculty to transition to when you've historically put together a list of assignments or readings and fit those into the days of the week across the semester. So we're going to start by writing down just one thing. Think about one thing that you want your students to know or to be able to do at the end of your class. Just one. And then I want you to think about what evidence you'd collect that would show you, convince you that your students have achieved that knowledge or skill. What assignment are you going to give? What kind of questions are you going to ask on an exam? What is your evidence going to be? Now, the way that people get tripped up here is often to use terms that have some clarity in their mind, but also are not very specific. So we often say that we want students to understand or appreciate, and what we mean is we want them to be able to describe the steps of the cell cycle, for instance, rather than understand the cell cycle. Or we want them to be able to diagram it, or we want them to be able to do some analysis of it by doing some comparison, contrasting, and identifying. So this is where Bloom's taxonomy comes in, and you can see that in this set of examples, 2, 3, and 4, we've gone from sort of being able to know the information, just be able to reiterate it, to actually being able to put it into a context, to actually being able to do something a little more sophisticated with it. So 2, 3, and 4 are moving up in terms of intellectual and cognitive sophistication. So think clearly about what it is you mean by understand, and that's one of the hang-ups that people have. And I know few of you are biologists, so many more of you think about using research in your classroom, and so here's another example. The idea here again is using primary and secondary literature. What does that really mean to you? Does it mean being able to describe how to do a search? Does it mean actually looking at the resources and being able to identify the key characteristics of research, high quality research materials? Does it mean being able to evaluate that quality and critique the claims from a variety of sources? Again, this is where Bloom's taxonomy and these verbs can be really, really helpful. All right, Kelly and I are happy to talk about backwards design and give you some feedback and brainstorm about some of the kinds of assignments that you could develop. Just let us know.